Dagsnytt klokken 12.
Faen ta copyright. Se hvor jævla lite det er.
Ja, riktig god morgen får vi vel si da. Her. Dette skal, ifølge værmeldingen, bli en fin dag. Ikke så veldig varm da. 17-18 grader. Men i hvert fall sol skal det komme i dag. Så i dag så skal vi til Balthazar. Ja, vi skal jo først se litt på været. Og så skal vi se en hel masse om EU. Artikkel 13. Jeg var jo på GPS-tur. Jeg var ikke i Europa i det hele tatt når jeg søkte. Jeg kan nesten forstå at jeg ikke fant så mye. Men først så skal vi ha været i San Miguel og i Stavanger. Så skal vi altså få med oss litt om artikkel 13. Og så skal vi til Santa Fe. Det høres ikke så ut så Knut heller er så veldig begeistret for det som skjer med internett akkurat nå. Nei, det er ganske skremmende å tenke på, altså. Etter nyttår så har vi kanskje ikke internett lenger. Det er en skremmende tanke, altså. Ja, før vi setter over til San Miguel, så må vi jo ta et kikk på været i Øygarden. Øygarden. Nynorsk er ikke min spesialitet. Der ligger Helge Ingstad fremdeles på havets bunn. Og ut forbi så ligger det 2 båter som ikke klarer å tømme den for olje. Sånn er det i nærheten av Bergen akkurat nå. Så sier de på radioen at en stakkars nordmenn har blitt tatt for å dyrke noen fine blomster. Politiet kaller det for en alvorlig narkotikasak. Politiet har jo alltid vært psykopatiske, så det er vel ikke noe nytt. Nei, mer vær over.
Nice plant. This could have made somebody very happy. See, and please come along and that's it.
Ja, god kveld. Dette er været fra San Miguel. Jeg tenkte jeg skulle filme litt av solnedgangen her i San Miguel. Sånn er den. Ha en riktig god dag. Eller god natt blir det etter hvert. Eller, nei. Ha en riktig god helg blir det jo selvfølgelig. God morgen, her er det her fra San Miguel. Ja, etter den flotte solnedgangen i går, så kommer det til å bli noe overskyet i dag. Solen kommer til å komme frem. Det kommer til å bli sånn halvskyet. Temperaturen kommer til å ligge på rundt 17 grader. Nattemperaturen den ligger på rundt 10. Og vinden den kommer til å ligge på 6 meter i sekundet. Så sånn er været i San Miguel denne lørdagen. Ha en riktig god dag alle sammen.
Ja, jeg vet ikke hvem som tar værprisen i dag. Det er i hvert fall varmere her enn i Stavanger. Det er nå i hvert fall ingen tvil om. I Santa Fe der er det snø. Det får dere vite om hvordan det er der får dere vite om en halv time cirka. For nå skal vi se litt på EU-direktivet. Det var noe jeg fant i går. Jeg var på VPN-tur når jeg søkte, og derfor ikke fant noe. Her kommer det 3 videoer om artikkel 13. EU-artikkel 13.
I'm amazed that the BBC has decided to give Article 13 any attention at all, but they have, and now finally this can be picked up by larger content creators, hopefully. I'm actually more surprised a bigger deal hasn't been made about the new EU copyright directive, given how little time is left and how much of a destructive impact it could have on the web in Europe. The usual large YouTubers I would expect to comment on this have been oddly silent. I don't think it's deliberate necessarily, I just don't think they know about it, and with only 12 days left before the EU Parliament will vote on this, we need to make a huge amount of noise, and fast. So, the BBC writes, copyright law could put end to net memes. Yeah, that and a lot of other things online. Memes, remixes, and other user-generated content could disappear online if the EU's proposed rules on copyright become law, warn experts. Digital rights groups are campaigning against the copyright directive, which the European Parliament will vote on later this month. The legislation aims to protect rights holders in the internet age, but critics say it misunderstands the way people engage with web content and risks excessive censorship. This is the problem. Big moneyed interests look at this obviously from a business perspective, but the political actors will see this as an opportunity to enact more censorship controls and inhibit the spread of information by prioritizing the mainstream media. The establishment would win again. The copyright directive is an attempt to reshape copyright for the internet, in particular rebalancing the relationship between copyright holders and online platforms. Article 13 states that platform providers should take measures to ensure the functioning of agreements concluded with rights holders for the use of their works. Critics say this will in effect require all internet platforms to filter all content put online by users, which many believe would be an excessive restriction on free speech. There's also a concern that the proposals will rely on algorithms that will be programmed to play safe and delete anything that creates a risk for the platform. Yeah, sounds like we can expect the same draconian and heavy-handed copyright reporting of YouTube, but applied and policed rigidly and in a very conservative fashion across all social networks. I'm sure it won't be openly abused or anything. A campaign against Article 13, Copyright for Creativity, said that the proposals could destroy the internet as we know it. Should Article 13 of the Copyright Directive be adopted, it will impose widespread censorship of all the content you share online, it said. It is urging users to write to their MEP ahead of the vote on the 20th of June. Jim Kilcock, Executive Director of the UK's Open Rights Group, told the BBC Article 13 will create a robo-copyright regime where machines zap anything they identify as breaking copyright rules, despite legal bans on laws that require general monitoring of users to protect their privacy. This might be one Achilles heel for Article 13. If a pre-existing legal provision prohibits general monitoring of a user's activities online in the EU, that could be enough to make this unworkable. Now, it won't address the underlying issue of the mainstream media and the movie and TV industries from continuing to push forward with their agenda of destroying fair use under the guise of defending their intellectual property rights, but it's a start. Unfortunately, while machines can spot duplicate uploads of Beyoncé songs, they can't spot parodies, understand memes that use copyright images, or make any kind of cultural judgment about what creative people are doing. We see this all too often on YouTube already. Add to that the EU wants to apply the RoboCop approach to extremism, hate speech, and anything else they think they can get away with. Once they put it in place for copyright, this would be disastrous. Yep. And right there is the political angle to this. The EU has already called for monitoring of so-called hate speech and anti-immigration content on social media, as we know, so this will give them the chance to finally remove so-called offensive content through an automated filtering process. The Electronic Frontier Foundation and 56 other rights organizations sent an open letter to European lawmakers in October outlining their concerns about Article 13. So that's what we're up against here, and we need to get this information out there and fast. So this video is to serve as a signal boost. The petition website linked linked below gives you information on how to contact your local MEP, but you can just as easily Google them if you're in the EU. I contacted a representative for an Irish MEP and she told me that already they've had loads of complaints about this copyright directive. So the word is getting out there, but the dam hasn't broken yet. Please contact large content creators on Twitter or Facebook and ask them to make videos about this as soon as possible. We have less than 2 weeks.
Hello, welcome to your morning show. My name is Philip DeFranco, and today we need to talk about the EUCD. So over the past few months, we've covered the copyright proposal coming out of the European Union called the EU Copyright Directive, aka the Directive of the European Parliament and of the Council on Copyright in the Digital Single Market, and that's why we're going to call it the EUCD. Now, the EUCD as a whole is pretty massive, but what we're going to be talking about and what we've talked about in the past videos are specific articles. And to give us all a refresher, some of the big standouts included Article 11, otherwise known as the link tax. Essentially, anyone using snippets of journalistic online content would be required to pay for a license from the publisher. And so this targets automatic link previews that social networks generate when users share links, as well as news aggregators, media monitoring services, and fact-checking services. And supporters of this article argue this is supposed to protect traditional press revenues by forcing people to go to the actual sites. You know, instead of someone linking something on Twitter or Facebook, and you get to see the headline, a small little piece of it, and you go, I don't need to click that, I get the general idea. And in addition to Article 11, the main focus, arguably one of the most contested articles in the EUCD, is Article 13. It's often referred to as the upload filter, and it would make most internet platforms that host large amounts of user-uploaded content directly liable for copyright infringements by their users. And here you have critics arguing the language in the directive is vague, but essentially the idea is that it would force sites to have massive systems in place that would scan all user-generated content on the site for any copyrighted material and remove it. And so among other issues, there are many that believe this could hurt smaller sites who just can't afford to put measures like this in place. But also a big note here is that this is kind of the consolidated TLDR explanation. There's a lot more. If you want to see the deeper dive into the EUCD, I'll link down to a previous video down below. And where we had last left off with this story was after the Legal Affairs Committee had approved the plans with some slight changes earlier in the year, but seemingly thanks in large part to the internet sounding off, MEPs surprisingly refused to back the reforms. And instead, they reopened it up for further debate, and that was by a vote of 318 to 278 with 31 abstentions. And what was really wild with this story is that many MEPs even admitted they didn't fully understand the complete ramifications of the EUCD until the public pressure hit them. And while this was a win for people against the EUCD, or specifically Article 13, Article 11, the EUCD was just rejected in that form. And the reason we're talking about it today is because on September 12th, the European Parliament will be voting on a new version of the directive. And this new vote coming up is a plenary vote, meaning that the amendments to the bill will be debated and voted on separately. And if no version of the EUCD can be agreed upon, then there will be another plenary vote in the future. But if a version does pass, here are the next steps. You get closed-door negotiations between the EU Council, the Commission that was originally in charge of the EUCD, and Parliament, and then you'd have a final vote by European Parliament to approve the negotiation results. And another reason we're talking about this today is that the deadline to submit amendments was last night. And on the controversial Article 13 portion of the reform, options on the table are likely to include some previous versions, like the text originally produced by the Commission or the original Legal Affairs Committee text. But right now it's believed that those are unlikely to gain a majority considering previous opposition to those texts. Additionally, amendments suggesting a full deletion of Article 13 will be proposed, but it's also currently believed that those probably wouldn't get majority support given the level of backing the reform is behind it. And then on top of that, they'll have any compromise versions that aim to remove the most concerning parts of Article 13. But then even there, the votes are expected to be tight, so it's hard to predict what the MEPs will actually do at this point. And so right now, where we are in the days before the vote, we're seeing more and more groups speaking out in favor and against the directive. You have backers of the proposals that we've seen arguing that the changes will help creators be fairly compensated for their work. The previous version of the directive had support from publishers, major music labels, artists, newspapers, authors, and more. You even had a group of 165 filmmakers signing a declaration at the Venice Film Festival on Monday urging the European Parliament to pass this directive. You had the European Commission's VP and Commissioner for the Digital Single Market, Andrus Ansip, saying, "The scale of lobbying from all sides has been astonishing." And in a blog post from late July, he wrote, "Everyone claims that their rivals will kill creativity, or kill innovation, or kill the internet, or kill all of it at the same time. This all has to stop. It is getting us nowhere. It is good to have a lively debate about copyright, but not one which has descended into slogans and exaggeration. We need to go beyond that to find an acceptable and workable compromise that gives Europeans the right kind of copyright laws for the digital age. They deserve nothing less, and it is achievable. Today, the debate sounds as if we had to choose between protecting artists or the internet. I do not agree with this. What we should be doing together is to protect both, to make sure artists are paid fairly for their work and at the same time protect freedom of expression and creativity on the internet. So we should not accept anything that puts that freedom in danger. Neither should we accept leaving artists and quality media unprotected. Those are my starting points for the Commission's proposal. They have not changed. But, and this is an incredibly important note here, this is the same man that wrote that he would like to see Parliament move closer to the Commission's original proposal, writing, "I genuinely believe that it was a good proposal, taking all opposing interests into account." So he says we need to be fair and balanced, we need to make sure that everyone is protected, but then wanting to go back to the thing that had people outraged. And meanwhile, you have critics arguing that the proposals are not balanced, that they will have a major impact on the creative freedoms of internet users. In an effort to draw attention to the issue on August 26th, groups all over Europe protested ahead of the September vote. We've also seen a lot more happening online this week. We had an article published by TechCrunch where we had Pirate Party MEP Julia Reda explaining some of the issues with the proposals, writing, "The proposals for a compromise currently circulating in the EP don't go nearly far enough to address the concerns that Article 11 will harm hyperlinking and Article 13 will lead to the widespread installation of upload filters, which will massively overblock legal posts. In fact, they make matters worse." Adding, "The largest compromise proposal on the link tax now specifies that reproducing individual words from an article as part of a link is okay, but that just confirms that reproducing the full title of an article in a link, as is commonplace on the web, would require a license. It would be left to lengthy and expensive court cases to define how many words still count as individual words. Links, the basic building block of the internet, would be mired in legal uncertainty for years." And explaining the proposal on platform liability was simplified by removing mentions of specifically which measures should be deployed to prevent copyrighted content from appearing online. But along with that, also all safeguards, compliant mechanisms, and the objective not to remove legal works. Even if the text no longer mentions upload filters per se, total liability for all user-uploaded content leaves platforms with no other choice but to filter uploads as best they can, erring on the side of caution. This is at best a cosmetic change. Then on Tuesday, you're the chair of the Wikimedia Foundation publishing a blog post on Medium titled "Your Internet is Under Threat. Here's why you should care about European copyright reform." And she wrote, "Through pre-filtering obligations or increased liability for user uploads, platforms would be forced to create costly, often biased systems to automatically review and filter out potential copyright violations on their sites. We already know that these systems are historically faulty and often lead to false positives." And hitting on a personal note saying, "Wikipedia contributors already work hard to catch and remove infringing content if it does appear. This system, which is largely driven by human efforts, is very effective at preventing copyright infringement." And her post closing, "We must remember the original problem policymakers set out to solve, to bring copyright rules in line with a dramatically larger, more complex digital world and to remove cross-border barriers. We should remain true to the original vision for the internet, to remain an open, accessible space for all." And this week we also saw YouTube jump into the mix thanks to CBO Robert Kinsel. And in his blog post, he really hyper-focuses on Article 13, saying that Article 13 can potentially undermine this creative economy, discouraging or even prohibiting platforms from hosting user-generated content. This outcome would not only stifle your creative freedom, it could have severe negative consequences for the fans, the communities, and the revenue you have all worked so hard to create. Then going on to talk about YouTube's already existing copyright management system, Content ID, copyright match tool, saying right now, before this, copyright holders have control over their content. They can use our tools to block or remove their works, or they can keep them on YouTube and earn advertising revenue. In over 90% of cases, they choose to leave the content up. Enabling this new form of creativity and engagement with fans can lead to mass global promotion and even more revenue for the artists. And it's something that he refers to as the new creative economy. And these examples of people speaking out right now are in no way the only ones. Many companies like Patreon, WordPress, Medium, the Internet Archive, even the inventor of the World Wide Web, Sir Timothy John Berners-Lee. He raised concerns and assigned an open letter with other internet architects, pioneers. And so where I'm going to leave you with this story is, if this stands out to you, you are concerned, you are worried, good. In my opinion, you definitely should be. And that's why today I want to join the Electronic Frontier Foundation in encouraging you to contact your MEP. I'll link down below to saveyourinternet.eu, you have savetheinternet.info, and if you want to get involved there, click Act Now. You can email, you can call, you can tweet. They make it extremely easy. Let your MEPs know where you stand, because if the last vote was any indication, they might not be aware. And for people outside of the EU, the people that want to support, I'm not going to recommend that you go through and you add your emails to this, because any sort of spam, I think, can hurt. You can definitely 100% share, whether it be this video or just specifically the links where people can email, call, and tweet. Sharing is the ultimate internet currency, and I thank you for your donation. But that said, like everything I put out there, there's the show, my personal opinion and takeaway, this time also a call to action, and of course I'd love to know your opinion on this whole story, whether it be something you agree with or something you disagree with. Let me know what you're thinking in those comments down below. But with that said, some last things before you stop looking at my derpy face. One, I want to quickly thank the sponsor of this week's morning videos, BetterHelp.com/DeFranco. It's a fantastic service that gives you affordable private online counseling with a licensed therapist, and they are a sponsor and a service I personally use. But that said, super final note, if you like this extra morning news video, hit it with a like. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. But yeah, that's the end of the video. I'll see you later on today's regular Philip DeFranco show. Bye. Yes, that's the outro you're getting.
The dark ages of the internet have begun. That's how much the European Copyright Directive is going to change everything you used to know about the internet. From a place of ultimate individual empowerment, innovation and freedom, internet will now be a tool for automated surveillance and centralized control. The European Union's Copyright Directive is another hit that is going to leave a mark on the face of the internet. This is how Europe will destroy the internet. Traditionally, those who uploaded content were primarily responsible for its legality. This rule has been discarded. The directive makes online platforms liable for the content generated by their users. That means that on top of punitive and vaguely worded terms of services, internet gatekeepers like Facebook, Google, or Twitter will be required by law to proactively monitor and censor content. These online platforms will be required by law to create automated mechanisms to filter infringing content. Such technology would essentially turn into upload filters. These automated filters won't be recognizing between infringing and legitimate content like parodies, satire, commentary, or other instances of fair use. To balance the flaws of automated upload filters, the directive also requires platforms to build staffed systems for filing complaints for illegitimate takedowns. All of these measures, specified in Article 13, would significantly increase the costs of running online platforms. The tight grip of corporate gatekeepers will be even further enforced. By pricing out their competition through legal barriers and costs, Google, Microsoft, Apple, and other tech giants will reaffirm their dominance in Europe. Only big, already established websites will be able to take the burden of the copyright law. It will be difficult for small startups and new alternatives to find investors due to increased risk of liability for copyright infringement. This will reduce the much-needed competition to social media sites like Facebook or YouTube, which have been abusing their dominant positions for years. This copyright law is so punitive, it's unlikely modern internet-enabled technologies and platforms would exist if Article 13 had been in place before. Copyright holders are now granted an ultimate veto over platforms to determine what goes and what doesn't. Emergence of copyright trolls is going to be a daily nightmare that small platforms and independent creators won't have means to deal with. Copyright holders will be able to claim remuneration from any party using their content in any way. YouTube creators are most likely going to be hit the hardest by this, as they'll be treated guilty until proven innocent not only by the YouTube's own copyright system, but by the European law as well. YouTubers' position in Europe is thus going to lose all legal ground. Article 11 is going to grant publishers the so-called link tax, which would require sites like Google and Facebook to pay publishers for hyperlinking their content and showing snippets, thumbnails, or excerpts from their articles. But it is very possible that content aggregators like Google will simply discontinue their services in European countries rather than pay the link tax. This has already happened to Google News in Spain in 2015, after the government mandated that Google pays publishers a fee for linking to their content. In the end, content publishers suffered a decrease in traffic from 6 to 14%, and news coverage became less diverse and more concentrated overall. Content creators from outside of Europe will also see significant decrease in viewership, as European audience will automatically be barred from viewing protected content. It's very likely that YouTube will develop a tool that will automatically block viewership of videos with protected content by audience from European countries. News aggregators might end up not showing European content to European users anymore. privacy will be significantly reduced. The copyright directive is going to have contradictory effects to GDPR that was set to protect privacy of European internet users. Since much of the legal and technological requirements to abide by the new copyright law will be too expensive for small European businesses, they'll have to outsource content monitoring and filtering to much bigger global corporations based in China or the United States. This copyright law is thus a gateway to automated surveillance. There is no incentive from the directive to let legitimate content through the upload filter obligation. Big publishers and established media organizations will easily get priority over independent creators and journalists, which will result in further televisation of internet content. This will be internet without content neutrality. Many websites will simply cut off their services to European users. Similar case happened when the US government enacted the Stop Enabling Sex Trafficking Act, which also holds platforms liable for the content generated by their users. Reddit and Craigslist simply shut down their personal sections because they couldn't risk the cost of the new obligations. Political power will be able to censor much of their opposition by calling for copyright takedowns. Similar occasion happened in Ecuador, where the government sent at least 74 DMCA notices on behalf of politicians, political parties, state media, and state agencies. Fake news will see a new emergence, as they would be less likely to claim link tags than legitimate news outlets. Implications of this copyright directive are so severe. The United Nations Human Rights Council denounced these efforts, saying, "States and intergovernmental organizations should refrain from establishing laws or arrangements that will require the proactive monitoring or filtering of content, which is both inconsistent with the right to privacy and likely to amount to pre-publication censorship." Enacting this law will shift the balance of power in favor of US-based news providers and content hosts. But even they were lobbying heavily against this law. Why? Because Google might be held liable to pay billions to music industry for the claims they make on various Google services, including YouTube. For 2 decades, publishers and artists have been losing revenue from traditional streams due to emergence of internet-based competition. YouTube, iTunes, eBay, Spotify, and other services have drastically changed how people consume media. Publishers and artists claim YouTube pays them too little for playing their music on their platform. While YouTube pays 67 cents per user annually, Spotify rewards artists with $20 per user annually. Music artists would say this is a value gap that's unacceptable. YouTube argues this revenue would otherwise not be generated because it's coming from people who would not pay for their music anyway. Instead of adapting to the new environment, the industry decided to change the rules of the game that would benefit them. The key player influencing the vote in the European Parliament were German lobbyists. Axel Springer, a major German publisher, has for decades had close ties with German political class, including Angela Merkel. Their Trojan horse, Günther Oettinger, serves as a European Commissioner for Budget and Human Resources and was a European Commissioner for Digital Economy. For years, Oettinger was pushing for stricter copyright laws that will favor publishers like Axel Springer. The chairman and CEO of Axel Springer, Matthias Döpfner, is a member of the European Publishers Council and president of the Federation of German Newspaper Publishers. Copyright lobbyists even infiltrated the circles around Commission President Jean-Claude Juncker, who were also joined by Swedish Bonnier, a media group of 175 companies in 15 countries, Spanish Prisa, and Spain's Prime Minister Mariano Rajoy. European Union wants to make continental markets more resistant to the dominance of US corporations, but the cost of achieving this goal appears to be too high. This strategy aims to benefit European corporations more than it benefits European people. EU decision makers generally lack democratic accountability, so any major legal change is in their hands and the hands of the lobbyists. Internet users like you and me are just caught in the crossfire between lobbyists from different industries and the politicians they are trying to influence. I'd like to end this video with a quote from Cory Doctorow from the Electronic Frontier Foundation. "We suffered a crushing setback today, but it doesn't change the mission. If this vote had gone the other way, we'd still be fighting today. and tomorrow, and the day after. The fight to preserve and restore the free, fair, and open internet is a fight you commit yourself to, not a fight that you win. The stakes are too high to do otherwise. If you are looking to join the fight to take back the internet, share this message on your platforms of choice. Subscribe to my channel and find out more about how you can take control of your digital rights.
So the first thing that I want to talk about is Article 13. Okay, so what's happening in the European Union at the moment is that the European Union is trying to do their best to help with copyright law, to make sure that people's copyrights is not infringed, which is a great thing. That's something that we're all hoping for. Everyone that's creating content doesn't want their content copied, all right? But the problem is that right now, YouTube, the way that it's designed is that YouTube, under the Article 13 legislation, would be liable for everything that's being uploaded. So if there's a copyright breach within the European Union, then YouTube would be liable for that, and not the guy who's doing the copyright infringement. And YouTube has gone out and said that if this goes into law, what we're going to do is we're going to stop creators from uploading content from within the European Union to make sure that we comply with the law, basically. And specifically, that's channels that are using clips from, for example, news organizations, and I do that. You know, if there's a big news article about a specific aircraft accident or incident that's happening, I'm going to do that. And I also use some segments from other YouTubers, which I then put a description, you know, a credit in the description of the video, making sure that, you know, you guys, after you've seen the video, you can go in and you can check it out and you can see the full-length video. There are normally some fantastic creators out there that I feature, but if this legislation goes through, that will not be allowed anymore. And what will happen is that channels like mine and other similar channels within the European Union is just going to get shut down. So it's really, really important, guys, that you get the Mentor Aviation app, because if this happens to YouTube, then the only way that I'll be able to create content is by uploading it through my own app and then making sure that you guys get those videos anyway. And also that you lobby, that you contact whoever is in government in your country and tell them that you think that this is horrible. I have a link here in the description as well to the Save My Internet campaign that YouTube and other giants are doing. Of course, this is not, you know, they're not doing this because they love content creating. They're doing this because they want to save their business model. But still, it's worth to lobby. It's worth to push that you guys want to make sure that channels like mine continue to exist. So do that.
Faen ta copyright. Se hvor jævla lite det er. Se den der bitte lille scenen der. Må jo faen lete med mikroskop jo for å finne det, og det skal vi bry oss om. Faen ta, altså, hvis de vil ha penger for å spille den der drittmusikken, kunne de jo for i helvete satt en C foran så de gikk an å se det. Liksom gå rundt med mikroskop liksom for hele cover, og hvor faen står den scenen? Jeg ser det jo ikke engang. Kanskje her? Nei, eller jo. Herregud. Tenk på gamle folk som ikke kan se. Fy faen for et drittvær. Se på bakken. Å, herre helvete satan. Fy faen for noe dritt. Fy faen, se så mye søppel. Og nå kommer jo sikkert ikke trøkken til å starte, for det er jo drittkaldt ute. Faen ta snø og dritt. Faen, se på dette her. Jeg skal banne på han ikke vil starte. Jævla drittrykk. Faen ta, nøkkelen vil jo ikke virke engang. Her. Faen. Starta. Faen, nå må jeg gå på bussplassen. Det var ikke det jeg hadde tenkt å gjøre i dag. Også med ruter full av snø. Helvetes EU, der er jeg glad jeg ikke bor. Fy faen. Snart er det ingen som bryr seg om en jævla ting, jo, for i helvete. Jeg skal banne på de ikke åpner på bussplassen enda en gang, for det er jo den der jævla faens helvetes sånn drittfredag. Svarte faens fredag, tror jeg de kaller den. Satan. Sånn her føler jeg meg i dag. Kom igjen der. Skytt selgenen min. Aha. Sånn ja, tenker jeg. Faen ta Black Friday. Faen ta copyright. Skriv en større sted, se på for i helvete så det går an å forstå hva dette går ut på. Jævla EU. Forbannet dritt. Helvetes drittsnø. Jævla hund. Hva du står og strekker deg for? Jævla yes. Gå og finn på noe selv. Ikke gå dilt etter meg. Lukk døra for i helvete. Jeg fyrer jo ikke fra kråkene. Faen, hva er dette? Det ser ut som sånn zoologisk hage. Helvetes bås. Nå gjør jeg snart faen, altså. Og så her må jeg ta på presenning. Faen ta YouTube. Helvete heller. Kunne ikke de bare for faen ha tatt og betalt litt mer sånn helvetes copyright-drittpenger? Jeg mener, helvete heller. De har vel heller ikke sett den der lille scenen. Det er jo praktisk talt usynlig. Helvete satan. Faen, hvis bussplassen ikke er oppe nå, da blir det helvete. Da tror jeg bare jeg kjører rett. Da hiver jeg det bare over gjerdet, tror jeg. Så kan de faen meg bare ha det så godt. Helvetes bosstryner. Nå er jeg forbannet. Og så at internettet har gått til helvete på toppen av alt. Nå så alt gikk så greit. Faen, satan. Jævla drittvær. Helvetes lass, kom deg vekk! Herregud, altså. Faen, jeg kommer ikke ut på veien engang. Dette her, altså. Endelig. Dette blir en drittdag, altså. Det har jeg virkelig på følelsen. Faen, ta snø og dritt. Se på dette her. Og i EU er det jo bare enda verre. Regn og dritt. Helvete satan, perkule. Jævler. Faen altså. Satans svarte fredag fra helvete. Visste det var noe som kom til å skje. Jævla drittdag. Faen bussplass altså. Jeg bare hiver det over gjerdet. Det er jo ikke noe annet å gjøre. Men faen, bare ha det så godt. Midt på veien skal jeg ta og hive det. Jeg håper jeg har mye råtten dritt som lukter piss. Da når det er gjort, så kan de bare faen ta og rydde det søppel og hive det hvor faen de vil. Helvete. Helvete satans EU. Er det ingen som tenker i den der forbanna klubben? Forbanna byråkrater, helvetes sosialister, kristelige er de sikkert også. Feite, gamle, kristelige sosialister. Og så, faen, hvorfor er ikke bussplassen oppe på en fredag? Fordi det er sånn jævla svartingsfredag. Faen, for noe piss. pensjonist, det er jo ikke helligdag. Nei, nå er det bare å kikke etter en høy nok bygning til å hoppe fra, altså. Det er jo faen ikke høye bygninger her, hvor jeg bor. Satan. Nå har jeg druknet meg i elven, men det er jo ikke vann i den engang. Se på dette her. Se på den jævla drittelven her. Skal jeg vise dere? Hva faen skal jeg banne på? Det er bare så vidt litt snø. Se her. Jeg kan jo faen ikke hoppe fra den broen. Hva faen skal jeg gjøre nå? Jeg tror bare jeg går og kjøper meg en sånn 2 liters flaske med vodka. Og bare... Ja, det er jo noe jeg kan hoppe fra. Jeg tenker meg om. Ja, ok. Kanskje det blir en løsning på dette her allikevel. Jævla rødt lys! Skift til grønt, for i helvete! Herregud, skal jeg bli stående. Det var på tide. Ok, nei, nå gidder jeg faen ikke mer, altså. Jeg har brukt halve morgenen på å bare bli kvitt litt grann boss. Men jeg slapp jo i hvert fall å betale for det. Det var noe faen jeg ennå godt, altså. Ha det akkurat sånn som dere vil, der dere er. Jævla EU. Og helvetes dritt og lort. Faen ta. Helvetes drittdag. Bare sure tryner hvor jeg ser, vet du. Faen, altså. Helvete. Kjør for faen! Herregud, stoppe midt i veien! Å, helvete, nå skal han ut, vet du. Foran meg igjen. Kom deg vekk! Kjør! Herregud. Nei, faen. Nei, nå kan jeg jo ikke hente posten, for nøklene ligger jo i den andre bilen. Faen. Det er snø. Jeg hater snø. Faen. Du står og logger etter. Ser du ikke at det er snø? Har du mistet forstanden, du også? Har du fått samme syke som EU? EU-syke! Det tror jeg det du har fått.
I met your friend in the park the other day. She smiled and walked away. I stopped and tried to find her name in my mind, but it must have slipped away somewhere down the line. 'Cause all we are is memories on parade. Memories on parade is all we are. Someone closes suddenly so far away. Memories on parade, they will not Sometimes I feel like I'm lost in my head, like I'm already dead. But then I hear someone like you call my name, and it's just like nothing's changed, like it's all have stayed the same. 'Cause all we are is memories on parade. Memories on parade is all we are. Maybe when someone closes and leaves are far away. Memories on parade will not stay. They will not stay. The memories on parade. The memories on parade. They will not stay. They will not stay.
Klokken unnskyld. Har du innvendinger mot oss og Kleveland?
Altså, det greit å spille gitar, men fy faen.
Det er jo fullstendig tussete.
Ja, velkommen til dagens kaffeblogg. Så vel egentlig har vart nesten 3 kvarter allerede. Ja, han har vart 3 kvarter allerede. Jeg tok en sang der, for det at jeg synes det ble så intenst med Knut. Men jeg er jo enig med Knut. Jeg liker jo EU da. EU er jo noe vi trenger som en garanti for å kunne bo ut forbi Norge, sånn at vi er garantert å få helsehjelp. Mye bedre helsehjelp enn hva du får i Norge for øvrig. Men vi trenger ikke at EU tar å blande seg inn i vår rett til å bruke internett. Altså, gi faen EU! Nei, jeg liker ikke å banne, jeg gjør ikke det. Jeg tror ikke Knut heller gjør det. Knut hørtes ut nesten like galen ut som Pøgg. Og Pøgg er jo en fyr som jeg ikke orker se på, siden han bare sier fucking this and fucking that hele veien. Nei, man må prøve å holde oss til et hyggelig språk. Men for så vidt, det er nesten det samme hva vi gjør. For 2019 så er jo internett over i den form vi kjenner. Så det er det jo bare... Altså for meg er det ikke noe igjen da, altså jeg er jo nok så seriøse der. Det er ikke noe igjen for meg da. Altså jeg har ikke filene engang. Altså alt jeg har skapt, det går til helvete. Hvis det at EU står på denne her greia de har vedtatt, så heter artikkel 13. Det er...
Og det er hedenskap. Hedenskap fullt ut.
Ja, det er virkelig hedenskap fullt ut, altså. Mer om det i morgen. I går var det Black Friday. Jeg viste et innslag med Grete i et format som ble heller underlig. Så jeg bare litt av midten av ansiktet til Grete. Så vi får se mer hvordan det var ment å se ut. Det gjorde en skikkelig tabbe når jeg redigerte i går. Beklager Grete, men vi hørte hva du sa, og det var jo det som var det viktigste. Ja, nei, nå skal jeg til Balthazar. Så dere får se noen bilder fra veien. Sånn etter at vi har sett den skikkelige versjonen med Grete. En av de virkelig kjekke, flinke medarbeiderne vi hadde på ATV, det var Grete. Og hun har forbannet seg litt på dette her som er i dag. denne her svarte fredagen. Skal vi høre?
Hallo? 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 Jeg vet jo faen ikke om man på eller av. Sola skinner, og det umulig å finne en plass uten sol, ja. Der. Nei, nå tenkte jeg bare skulle si at jeg må bare minne folk på at det ikke grunnlovspålagt, da. Å fly i butikken i morgen på den der svarte fredagen. For det kan bli en jævla svart fredag, og det kan bli svart ut hele året hvis den går bananas på grunn av at de skal lure deg til å kjøpe noe da, som plutselig halv pris. For du skjønner at nå skal de bare rydde butikken for å få inn juletinga sine. Dette bare tull og fanteri. Så her på CC Gjøvik, der hadde de ventet i morgen sånn 21 000 pluss. Så går dit da liksom. Hvem de 21 000 som går på Maxi kjøpesenter, CC, på en sånn en hysterisk dag? De river nesten armene av hverandre. De river nesten klærne av hverandre. For hvis du stiller der med en fin jakke, så tenker de kanskje, å ja, den var fin. Så ser de faen ikke at det et menneske inni han en gang. Nei, ærlig talt altså. Det vi hjemme, jeg spiser sånn der kakemann. Og en annen ting nå i høst, det så jækla spennende, også denne her politiske situasjonen i Norge. Skjønner ikke en dritt, ja. Ingenting. Nå skal plutselig KrF, nå har de funnet ut, nå skal de prøve å felle den regjeringen de ville inn i nå da. Hva det de driver med? Nei, jeg skjønner ingenting. Nei, dette her lurer på når de skal begynne å styre dette landet igjen. Det ja, hei Tina, hei Magnus, ja. Du vet jo, noen har tenkt å begynne å styre dette landet. For nå går jo faen meg på hæla løs, altså. Det jo sånn at en vet jo snart ikke hva som riktig og gærent, og hva en skal forholde seg til. For det ingen som sitter og styrer lenger. Alle i krig. Enten det bompenger, eller så det abort. Og nå har de begynt å diskutere. Skal det være røyk eller vin? Røyk eller vin? Og dette... Skjønner du, det en sånn avledningsmanøver, for da glemmer vi alt om abortspørsmålet. Og da vedtar de et eller annet der, at wow, da går vi mot grunnlovens vedtak fra 1818 og brødmangel, om at kvinnes rett til fri bestemt abort, det grunnlovsfestet. Men hvis vi ikke følger med på det, men nå begynner å tenke litt mer på, skal jeg kjøpe røyk, eller skal jeg kjøpe vin? Så har noen glupe huer finnet ut at, ja, men jeg kan kjøpe røyk, men jeg kan selge det på svartebørs. Ja, black price. Så dette her, jeg skjønner ikke hva de tenker på her i dette landet. Det går den veien høna sparker. Ja, da legger det ene egget etter det andre, og så kommer det noen etter. De rekker faen ikke å klekke ut planene sine en gang. Og det eggene, de bare ruller om. Og til slutt så de råttene hele gjengen. Nei, jeg vet da fader, altså. Jeg har i hvert fall fått Mumitroll-kalender av den ene drittungen min. Altså eldste datteren min. Og den skal jeg kose meg med da, hver dag ifra den første. Og fyrer i ovnen, det sånn cirka 7 kuldegrader ute. Det jo ingenting å pese for det da. 7 kuldegrader, det jo ingenting når en vet at det kan bli 20 mer. Så det bare å fyre litt, eller ta på seg litt ekstra klær. Nå skal jeg slappe av litt. Nå skal jeg spise resten av den kakemannen der. Og så skal jeg drikke opp den kaffen her. Og så skal jeg snart hente hun vesla i barnehagen som skal være her i morgen. For i morgen det reiser vi til pappa her. Og så går det ene med det andre. Men en ting i hvert fall sikkert. Jeg skal ikke bevege meg innenfor sentrum i morgen med det der galskapet som kommer til å bli. Rive klær av stativet. Det jo faen ikke sikkert at de klærne passer en gang. Kom med meg jakke som 4 størrelser for liten. finne en eller annen i familien da, som har ekstra smål som kanskje kan passe i julegave. Nei, fy flate, tenk hvor mange som brenner seg på det der greiene der. Da. Jeg kommer ikke over det der Black Friday. Og i dag så er det Thanksgiving da. Og det feirer ikke vi. Husk på det. Det er amerikansk skikte. Så vi skal ikke dra fram kalkunen vår nå og begynne å også preparere den. Nei da, den kalkunen din, den kan du gjemme til nyttårsaften. Så der Amerika, der har de dette. Nei, nå skal ikke jeg sitte her og chatte lenger. Nå skal jeg bare prøve å finne ut hvordan jeg skal skru av dette her tullet her. Men bare husk på det. Det er ikke lovfestet at du må ut og handle og bruke kortet ditt i morgen. Så ta deg ikke en tur i dag, det er ikke samme priser. Men nå skal jeg se hva jeg skal trykke på her. Skal vi se, nå litt musikk til kaffen, ja. Ja, men akkurat nå så blir det musikk til kaffen her, for nå skal jeg spille Usher. Yes. Nå skal jeg spille Usher, og etter det så blir det Justin Timberlake. Og så litt sånn utover, og når barnebarnet kommer hjem, så blir det i hvert fall Justin Timberlake. For hun skal høre den der Let's Dance. Ja. Ja. Her er noen som gjør rent, ja, og May-Britt, hun bor langt oppe i Nord-Norge, der er det kaldt. Og i helvete hopp på. Ja, kos meg. Ja, jeg skal kose meg. Men nå må jeg sette i gang her. Jeg har en jævla oppvask også, skjønner du, som skal tas. Og jeg vasker opp for hånd. Så en klesvask, den skal jeg levere ned til datteren min. Fant ut at det er billigere å sette bort klesvasken til henne, og spare i den strømmen. Jesus. Nå skal jeg trykke på noe her, og så skal jeg se om jeg blir borte. Kos dere alle sammen.
Ja, der forsvant du, Grete. Du fikk noe godt til det. Vet du at jeg også vasker opp for hånd? Både meg og Endre vasker opp for hånd. Så det er 3 av oss som gjør det. Ja, jeg tør ikke spå hvem som vinner hver konkurransen i dag. Det er i hvert fall helt upåklagelig her i Merida. Som sagt så skal vi nå på tur til Balthazar. Så dere får se litt av været her i byen mens vi gjør det. Og så sitter jeg på Balthazar og redigerer denne kaffebloggen og laster den vel også opp derifra, tenker jeg. Ja, men nå går vi rett og slett. Ja, vi går av gårde, for å si det kort og godt. Ja, som dere ser, så er det litt sky og ganske fint vær. Skal vi si normal vær for november, egentlig. Skjønt normalen er vel kanskje en anelse varmere, men vi har ikke noe å klage på. Ikke i det hele tatt, skal på Balthazar nå. Ja, jeg går ut ifra at Knut var veldig ironiske når han skjeller ut copyright. Jeg synes jo at det er ganske viktig at artister og sånt får betalt for det arbeidet de gjør. Men jeg synes jo også at det er ganske viktig at internett ikke blir nedlagt. Så det må jo være mulig å finne en løsning som fungerer. Og sånn som det fungerer nå, fungerer det jo egentlig aldeles utmerket. YouTube de har jo lagt avtaler med artistene og plateselskapene. Spesielt etter at de nå begynte med YouTube Music. En strømmetjeneste som etter hvert har blitt ganske populær. Så får jo artistene sin skjer av reklameinntekter og det hele. Men selvfølgelig, kaffebloggen har veldig få visninger, så det genererer jo ikke mye ekstra inntekter for artistene. Akkurat min bruk av musikken i kaffebloggen. Ja, denne gata som går her, den pleier vi for moro skyld kalle for Karl Johans gata. Han heter jo Han Carlos, den gata, så det Det jo nesten likt. Her står Ciudadanos og har stand. Uten at det var så voldsomt mange som var møtt opp for å høre budskapet deres. Ja, dere kjenner dere vel igjen. Vi jo borte på Balthazar. Der skal jeg klippe sammen hele denne videoen og forhåpentligvis også få med noen flere bilder fra Stavanger. Vi får håpe det. Da gjenstår det bare å ønske alle sammen en riktig god lørdag. Da kommer flere videoklipp om EU-direktiv, EU-artikkel 13 i neste kaffeblogg, som sannsynligvis kommer i morgen. Skål og riktig god lørdag. Ja, dere vet ikke hva slags stress det har vært i dag med å lage denne kaffebloggen. Altså, jeg har rendret og fått beskjed om at det er feil, og det er feil, og det er feil, og det er feil. Kanskje jeg skulle gjort sånn som en del YouTuber har gjort, og fått seg en sånn Money-konto. Ikke så patriotisk som det høres ut her. Det er rett og slett snakk om støtte. Nei, jeg tror ikke det. Men Gabriel, han er desperat nå. Må hjelpe Gabriel. Han får ikke støtte til bussen sin. Stakkars Gabriel har ingen støtte til bussen sin. Og jeg får ikke støtte til mer teknisk materiell å lage bedre kaffeblogger. Annen side. Hvorfor i verden skulle noen betale meg for å lage kaffeblogger? Det er jo helt absurd. Gabriel, du må forstå at det du tenker på, at noen skal betale deg for en feriebuss, er helt absurd. Sorry, Gabriel. Du får slette meg på Facebook hvis du føler for det, men jeg synes nå er du helt på trippet, altså. Betale deg for at du skal få en feriebuss. Du som ikke engang klarer å levere PC-en, så en viss Haugesunder med sunn interesse for ytringsfrihet, hvis navnet er Sindre. Du klarer ikke engang å levere PC-en til han. Skriv nå navnet til campingplassen under denne videoen, så kommer Reodor på felgen og tar deg. Nei, han er en snille mann. Han kommer bare og henter PC-en. Ja, nå skal jeg stresse videre etter det som for meg har vært et jævlig stress, for å bruke ord som jeg ikke liker å bruke på nettet. Jeg har lyst til å være en snill og seriøs mann. Men nå er det nok. Det er mer enn nok. Bollestad? Nei, takk. Jeg vil ikke ha den dritten, altså.
Bollestad.
Nei takk.
Bollestad.
Nei takk.
Hej kära publik, hjärtligt välkomna. Vi ska kora skönhetsdrottningen mitt framför era ögon. Vilken härlig publik ni är! Flickorna! Får jag lov att presentera vinnaren? Om du skulle få bestämma i världen, vad menar du skulle vara annorlunda då?
Jeg synes det er innmari om krig og fred og religion og politikk og sånn. Og så synes jeg det er innmari viktig at skjønnheten kommer innenfra.
Kaffebloggen i HD og uten lydsensur finner du på YouTube.
If you don't have any art, you're pretty much lost.